Now let's talk about the drawing the 3D objects. How we draw the 3D object. This time we do not print any of the practical. This is some of the basics that we learn about the 3D. How we draw the 3D components. There are two methods by which we can make a 3D objects. One is from 2D object to the 3D. Second is directly drawing the 3D. Two things are there. For example, if I say to you that draw the square, I will take a rectangle tool and draw one square. So this is one square. But if I want a cube, how I can draw the cube? I need a 3 dimension. So now, before moving towards the 3D drawing, you just have to learn that what this cube is. Did we talk about this cube already? No, we haven't talked about it. ठीक है, and he ते छा लिखेला top. So right now we are viewing the object from the top. Consider that this is the object. If I look it from exactly from the top, what will be visible? Like this. But if I look it from the right, left, all the sides can be visible separately. Now, have you drawn a square? Now consider the corner, south, east. Now here then we have 4 directions: north, south, east, or west. These direction can also be considered as a x-axis, y-axis, negative x-axis, negative y-axis. It is just a similar thing. We have same directions. Now click on the corner for this cube. I am over here. Please click over here. Click it over here. Click on this exactly a corner for this cube. If I click on the cube, so what will happen? What changes will occur? One, orientation changes. What happens to the cursor? Is the cursor changes? So the cursor will give you now the 3 dimensions. Now we have lines for the 3 different colors. 3 different colors shows the 3 different lines. Now also look into the UCS. This is called Universal Coordinate System. So now it becomes automatically a 3 dimension now because we are working on 3 dimension. Previously, while we were looking from the top, we were looking at, if I go back and say that okay, look it to the top. Now look, see that what happens to the UCS? It's a 2 dimension because once we are looking from the top, Z axis was not visible. Only the X and Y was visible. When I select any of the corner, so now we are in a 3D. Now this is the 3D. Is this a 3D object? No, it's a 2D object. We want to convert it into 3D. Right now we have toolbars available. All the toolbars are related with the 2-dimensional drawing objects. So we have to change the toolbar menu to the 3D modeling or 3D basics. So there are 2 methods are there. Point number 1, you can see over a gear over here at the bottom. Can you see this gear? All you have a gear available. Click on the arrow nearby the gear. If I click over here, I can say that right now we are in the drafting in annotation mode. We can move to the 3D basics. So click on the 3D basics. If I click on the 3D basic, now you can see that the toolbar has been changed. All you have done it. Now in order to change the 3D object, 2D object into the 3D, there are few commands are there which can be used. The most simple is the extrude. Which command? Extrude. Extrude is extraction. Extrudes come from the extraction. If I click on the extraction, what comes in the command window? Select object to extrude. So now I just have to click the boundary for the square. If I click on the boundary of the square, and after clicking, I just have to confirm. Okay, press enter. So now what is happening now? If I on the grid, so what is happening? So third dimension is created. Third dimension is created. Say for example, for any of the dimension, I have clicked third click. So now is the 3D object is available? Now is this 3D object is a solid object or a hollow object? What do you say? Hollow? Now this is a solid object, but it has a different view available. Now let's consider over here. This is the view menu. What is written over here? 2D wireframe. While the view is 2D wireframe, you will see only the lines, outlines for the object, outline for the solid object. Let's change this view to this shades of gray. Shades of gray. If I click on the shades of gray, now you can see that the object is 3D. Object is 3D. If I change another view, say for example, if I change the view as sketchy, it looks like a sketch. Now here you can see that background lines are not available. But if I consider back to the 2D wireframe, so backward lines are also available. It seems that it's a transparent box. But if I change another view as a sketchy, these inner lines are not visible. Though in all conditions, solid remains as a solid shape. This is only the type of a view that we can change. Now, by default, generally, not by default, generally we consider that shaded with the edges is more suitable, because here once we click over here, the edges are visible. We have to work on the edges also. Okay, now I can click on the object. I can change the size of object. I have changed the size of object. So now it's like a vase type of a component. Select on the bottom corner, जो shape original, जो head shape हो ना, उन्हें जो shape के माँ change it होके आता, object change it होके. Now consider here we have this orbital tool. Can you see this orbital tool available in the quick menu? Orbital tool. Click on the orbital tool. Once you click on the orbital tool, you will see that a circular type of a double arrow icon comes. Now click on the mouse and start rotating this object. You can see that object is live. You can see all the three. Now here, now you can imagine that this object is before you, is available before you, is presented before you. जी हकीकत में सामने मुझे. This is the free rotation. Free rotation. I look it from the bottom. If I want to get rid of this, consider skip. If I press skip, the command is terminated. Now I click orbit again. Now look at that. If I click orbit again, look to the view cube. This view cube. What is happening to the view cube? What is happening to this view cube? It is also rotating because it's alive. So consider skip. So if I want to restore the same view, I can go to the corner, one of the corner, same corner is there. Another corner, we have 4 corners for the cube. second, third, fourth. So I can see the object from any of the angle. I can see the object from the top. If I look at it from the top, it's like a wedge shape. I can see from one corner. Such a view, while we have more than two sides of a object are visible, what it is called? Isometric view. Likho isometric view. Isometric. Previously, the drawings that we have drawn all were the orthographic. In the orthographic, only one face was visible. But in isometric, we have more than one side. Can you see the top of the object? Can you see the right side and the left side? So at a one time, we can see the three sides of this object, top, right and left. Three sides are visible. But those three sides does not give you the exact size of object. While we draw the orthographic projection, as we have drawn for the last presentations up to the last practical, exact size 12 फुट माना 12 फुट हिते 12 फुट माना 12 फुट एक्जेक्टली मेजर कोन थे डिस्टेंस में नहीं नो मतलब छोटा सा ट्रे व्यू था सर. Can we draw another object? A complicated object. Let's move back to the top view. Okay, now I'm in the top view. I want to draw another object. Draw object for your own. Let's say, can you see the polyline? In the menu of a line, arc, polyline is there. Now start considering the line only. If I draw object from the line 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the object there you want to draw. So how many lines I have used to draw this object? Say for example 4 or 5 lines are there. So if I go back to the SE isometric view, now if I use extrude command, you say that extrude selected object. If I select the object is not selected. I can select a line. I can select a line when only a surface is there. Right now I can't select the object. Why I can't select the object? Because the object is made from the different line segments. In order to combine them, we use a command join. Join, join. So what I do? I will select all these objects, and then on the command window I will write join, join, and press enter. Now if I select the object is selected as one object. Previously, when I have drawn this object, I have drawn with these several small lines. So each line was selected separately. Now I have considered that joining the object after using the command join, all the objects are joined in such a way that when I click on any of the points, the whole object is selected. Now if I go and use the extrude again, now object is selected as once, and now I have to confirm the selection. Okay, the selection is confirmed. The live editing is there. I can select the object's height. Now I give exactly size. Say for example, I want to make a height as a 5 inches. So exact 5-inch height object is created. Let me create a one object by using the polyline. If I use a polyline, I don't need to use a join command because polyline work is a one object. Polyline, I draw the straight line, another straight line, then I use a arc. I have used the arc, then I use a straight line, a line, then I use another straight line. Then I use the arc, and then I again use a line. So what I have written over here, letter B. Let's change the view. Consider AC isometric. Now I can go over here, extrude object. Some objects cannot be easily extruded. Like this object, I have drawn a B. If I use a extrude command, the extrude command does not work over here. We have a more powerful command than that of extrude, which we call it a press pull. Press pull. If I click on the press pull, now this time I have to consider the object. I have to move to the any closed figure, in center of any closed figure. Right now we have two sections. I have selected this section. If I click over here, I can move upward. Say for example 2 inches. And now I click the second object. I said I have moved to the 4 inches. Now earlier I explained to you there are two methods to draw the 3D object. The first method is to convert the 2D drawing into the 3D drawing that we have demonstrated. Now consider the 3D objects directly. So all the objects are made from these simple blocks. The blocks contains a box, or it can be a cylinder, or it can be a cone, or it can be a sphere, pyramid, wedge, torus, or a polysolid. Say for example, started drawing with the drawing a box. So if I want to draw a room in a 3D model, what should be it looks like a box. So in order to draw the box, first we have to give the two dimensions x and y. We have to draw the surface. जी रूम ठाहींदा आहियूं न भई रूम में असां ॿुधाईंदा विड्थ एतिरी आहे लेंथ एतिरी आहे पोइ उन जी दीवार खड़ी कंदासीं पहिरीं असां बाउंड्री ठाहींदा आहियूं सो कंसीडर दैट I have clicked on the one line. So now by consideration we have a 3 dimensions available. Mind it here the 27 inches are live. These dimensions are alive 27. So I can give by own dimension. Say for example, I say that the first side for the cube is 20 inches. Then I use a tab to move to the second dimension. Second dimension is 30. Let's say I say that second dimension is also 20. When I say OK, so a square has been built having a dimension for 20 inches by 20 inches. Now we can move further above. If I want to draw a perfect cube, what will be the dimension in z-axis? 20 again. Let's say 20. So now I have a perfect cube. Exact this perfect cube. Let's move forward. Within this box, now all the objects are made from these basic components. Say for example, if I have to consider the second object, either we have a box. After drawing a box, we can go for making a cylinder. Objects may be a cylinder. If I click on the cylinder, you say that specify the center point of arc. So in order to draw the cylinder, first we have to draw a circle, then we have to give a height to the circle. So how we draw the circle? You know that we click on the center of a circle, then we give a dimension as a radius or diameter, the same as we draw the circle. After we draw a circle, then we have to give the height. Now the cylinder is there. Now dimension depends on you, whatever the dimension that you made. Right now we are not interested in the dimension. Learn that how to make an object. To draw a cuboid object, we have to draw a square or a cube, a square or the rectangle, and then give a height. For the cylinder, we give either a diameter or radius for the circle, and then a height. Now let's move. Let's say I want to draw the cone. A cone is to be made. So the cone is to be made like the cylinder. First we have to draw the base of a cone. Base of a cone is like drawing a circle with the diameter or a radius. After that we have to provide the height of a cone. If I move upward, cone height is there. So this is the cone. Now can we use two solids together? Can we draw two solids together? Say for example, I want to draw a cone on the cylinder. Let's say I have selected the cone. I have selected the center for this circle. And then I selected the corner, this end corner, and move upward. So I have joined the two solids. Now we have a two solid. One is the cone, second is the cylinder. We can provide the color for each of them by selecting the cone. Let's say by selecting the cone, I have a quick properties. The color for the cone I am changing as a red, and the color for the cylinder I am choosing as a yellow. It's a biodigester, a silo storage type of a reactor. Please look at the screen. This is the square. Now we can make a pyramid on the square. While we say the pyramid, so for a pyramid we have to define the number of sides for the base. Right now I want to draw the pyramid on the top of a square, so I will consider slides as a four-sided. And then I say that okay, start point, this is the start point. Start point is the center. Sorry. Move back. Four sides. What is required? Consider the edge, a single edge. I have considered the edge. I have selected the one corner. Pyramid, edge, pyramid, edge, start point, and the second point, and upward over here. So now here you can see that this object is individually drawn. If I change the quick properties, change the color of the object, as this yellow color. So now this object you can see through the orbital. The pyramid is drawn on the top. The sphere is like a circular ball, completely round from all the sides. So say I have selected the sphere. So what is being asked? Specify the center point. I say the center point is the top edge of this pyramid. Now a spherical object is created. I have clicked on the top. Now I have drawn a complicated object. From the bottom, it seems that it's a hexagonal pyramid, but when you move upward, it's a circle. Can we make this object as a one object? Yes, we have three options available. We call them Boolean options. Union, subtract, intersect. The three options are available. If I select any of the two objects, if I select any of the two objects and if I say that join, they will be treated as a one object. Now this object is a one object only. Previously we have two objects. Now when I select them, now for example we have this reactor. This is the dome for the reactor, and this is the reactor itself. I can join them as a one unit. Select the join command. Now select object number 1, select object number 2. How many number of objects are there? No, don't worry. Select all the number of objects and press enter. Now these objects will be work as a one object. Similarly, we can subtract from one object to another object. We can subtract. Say for example, I will consider the subtract tool. You say that select the object from which we need a subtraction. I have selected the pyramid. Say okay. Now I have to select the second object. So now I have created the curvical groove. So this is called a subtract. Join them. Two any solids or more than two solids can join together and work as a one object. We can subtract a one shape from another. And the third option is the intersection. Say for example, if I consider the intersection between them, so what it should be, let me draw another shape for you for intersection. Now as we have to draw this cylinder, move back to the Auto CAD. Let's consider drawing one cylinder. This is a cylinder. Now I will draw the sphere by considering the center of a center and end. Similarly, I can change the view. Now I can see the bottom for this cylinder. I can again go to the sphere, select the center and mark it at the end. So the cylindrical shape is created. A CNC cylinder is created. Now there is one problem. Now you can see that the lower half is below the grid. Grid is considered as a reference. So if I select any of the object, if I click any single object or more than one object, now here you can see the three arrows are there. If I click on the any of the arrow, I can move upward or downward, or to the right or left. So I have moved upward, I have moved this object towards the left, I have moved this object towards the right. So object is being changed. We don't need to move for the move tool. We can directly move the object by these UCS icons. Say for example, if I have drawn one cube, the size of a cube is 20, 20, and height is also 20. So I have drawn a one cube. Okay, to this cube, can I draw a circle on the surface of a cube? Let's draw the circle on a surface of a cube. In order to draw exactly the center, I can select the line tool and draw a diagonal from one corner to opposite corner for the top surface. So what will be the center of a line? Center of a line will be exactly the centroid for the plane, exact center. So now I will select from the draw menu, from the polygon. Now let's consider a circle. Now I will draw circle by considering center as a midpoint and draw a circle for any suitable dimension. Now let me erase the line because I don't need a line for the move. Now let's learn some more power for the press pull. Select the press pull. Now move towards the center of the circle. Click over here and move downward. So now what will happen? What happens now? If I use a rotate, 3D rotate, what happens? We have created the hole throughout the object. Hole is created. In the same way, for example, if I draw a polygon right now the number of sides are 5, and I consider that the center of a polygon over here circumscribes polygon. So I have drawn a polygon on the side of a surface. I can extend it by the press pull. Click on the press pull, move towards this shape, click over here and extend it. A rod is extended. I can directly select any side through the press pull by clicking on the press pull, select the object and extend it. Please note down, you can change the view. If I don't select any of the member, so we can change the shades from over here. I can change the shape as a 2D line frame from here, conceptual. Say for example, I can consider the AC isometric view, like this AC isometric view. The views and the shade can also be selected from this section of a drawing. AC isometric. A top view can also be, if I look at from the top, only the roof is visible. So while you see the object from the Google map, you can only see the top view. or you can have a SE isometric or any other isometric view also.